Well, look who is back for some more knowledge. And enough about me being silly. What is up, guys? Welcome to a new video, and I'm gonna talk about something that I did not find anywhere else online, which is how to create lights and mood in your game in Unity. So let's get started right away. As you can see, I am in a new project and I have this cool cemetery here, and you are going to go right here and download it. So it's at the asset store, Unity.com package, blah, blah, blah. I will just put the link in the description below. Now you're gonna click on this button here. You will not see Open Unity if you did not download it before. I think it's like get the asset or something else. Anyways, click this button right here. You will see the color is the same. You're gonna click that. It's gonna open in Unity. Click here, open. It will open the asset store right here within your Unity project, and you will see the asset right here. Now, when you see it, you're gonna click here, download, and when you see download, or when it finishes downloading, then you will see import. When you see import, you're gonna click import, and unfortunately, one more window will pop up, which is to import that into your project in Unity. We did this in the joystick controller tutorial as well, so you should already know how to import assets from the asset store, and it's already finished. Just a couple of more. Yeah, you see here import. I'm gonna click here import, then it will open this window here, click import, and it will start importing it in your project. When that happens, you will not see what I'm seeing here. Instead, you will need to go here. Let me just go into models. You will actually see this cemetery right here. So you will see it, and you will go inside, and then you will see here demo. When you see the cemetery demo or the demo folder inside the cemetery, you're gonna go inside that folder and you are going to click on this demo 6 level. So simply double click on it, and voila, this is then what you will see. Now I'm gonna take the lights here and I'm going to turn them off because they come already with how the scene is. So I'm going to simply turn them on. What I'm gonna do is just position the camera something like this because I want to be a little bit closer to the statue for the things that I am going to show. Now for some reason this is like laggy. I don't know why, probably because I did not turn off my computer for a week. Anyways, the first light that we are going to talk about is the directional light. And how do you actually create lights? Well, first of all, in the hierarchy, you're simply gonna right click and you're gonna go under light and you're gonna create one of these lights. As you can see, we have a directional light, we have a point light, we have a spot light. Now, as I said, first of all, I'm gonna select here a directional light, and automatically, I don't know if you saw that, this is, or did you see how the scene lighting up? And I'm gonna select the main camera and I'm gonna hold Command Shift and press F to position the camera same here in the view. So pay attention what's gonna happen in the game tab when I select the directional light and I'm gonna turn it off. You see, it's like turning on the lights and turning them off. Turning on or off first and then turning on. So the directional light is, well, providing lights in our game, but why is it called directional? Well, because it points into a direction. It gives light into a direction. If I set the game tab here, pay attention. Pay attention to the game tab inside or on the right. If I take this light game object, the directional light, which is right here, you see it, it's right here. And if I start moving it, nothing is gonna happen. You see, I'm moving it left and right, and now I'm gonna move it up and down. You see, nothing is happening when it comes to the light effect on the right side in the game tab. But if I try to rotate it, so if I take the directional light and pay attention, the rotation on the X is 50, on the Y it's negative 30. Let's say on the X. You see now, I'm gonna try and rotate it. So I'm rotating it slowly. Do you see the effects now? So you see how basically right now we have darkness. This is how you can create night and day in your scene. And now we have, as I said, darkness. And pay attention now, again, I'm just rotating and rotating. Now we have lights, it's like in the morning, as you can see. This is because we are rotating our game object, rotating the light. And if I rotate it here on the Y-axis, you will also see that. Now, I'm not sure if you can see the shadows, because here it's set to no shadows. Let me go here and set the soft shadows. Pay attention now. We have the shadows, which will make that even more clear. You see here where I'm pointing with my mouse for the shadow of the statue? Pay attention now when I rotate this game object. See how the shadow is also rotating along with the game object. So this is the directional light. It basically points into a direction. I'm gonna put it back at -30, and this is how it looks like. Now, what options do we have inside of this directional light? Well, first of all, we can change the color of it. So I can go here, set the red color. So you will see here, it's like some hazard, I don't know, hazardish, whatever you see here in the scene. I can go here and maybe set the color to orange or a little bit yellow to simulate the sun or whatever. Now, you also have here, and you see this real time. Let me just put it on baked. If I put it on baked, baked is something that will, baked means that it will save performance. Now we will talk about this later, don't worry about that, but using bake, when we bake lights, we will save performance. That's basically putting a light inside of the material, like a part of it. I don't know how it functions, don't ask me, but we will see that. Now real time will update anything what happens here in the scene. It will update it real time right away to match the lights. That's why you will see me often in the games that I create in the tutorials, that I go here in Windows, and you will have here rendering, and then you have light or lightning settings. When you click on that, you will see this tab right here. See this tab? It will probably be floating like this. You will dock it wherever you want to dock it. I'm going to dock mine here on the right side. As I said, you will see me often go here in the lightning tab and uncheck this auto generate. When this is checked, if I hover over it, you will see here automatically generates lighting data in the scene when any changes are made to the lighting system. Basically, this means if we even move a game object in the scene, the lights will rebake in order to match where that game object moved, to simulate shadows, so on and so forth. So this is real time. And the intensity was, well, basically it's how much you want the light. You see here, now currently we are, this is how you can simulate, I don't know, some apocalypse or whatever. And 1 is the normal. You can also lower it down, let's say, I don't know, 1.1. This is how you can create day and night as well. So you can move the intensity up and create a day like this, you see? And you can move it back, no, not here. Move it back to 1 to simulate, well, how hard or how much you want the light to affect the models here. Moving forward, indirect multiplier. This is basically the bouncing light. So how much will the light bounce off from another game object and affect the other? And you can play with the settings here to see the outcome of that, but usually will not need it, and it's really hard to notice that because of the shadows on your game object, so on and so forth. Now for the shadow type here, as you can see, you have soft shadows, hard shadows, and no shadows. So if you go here, no shadows, well, you will see that we don't have shadows. If you go here and see hard shadows, well, hard shadows are a little bit like hard, have hard edges. And personally, I prefer these soft shadows because they are a little bit more realistic. And you can go here and control the strength, as you can see. So you see, when I lower the strength to 0, we don't even see the shadows. If you set it on 1, well, again, you can see some strong shadows. Now for the quality, as you can see, here's quality settings, low resolution, medium, high, very high resolution. This is the quality of the shadows that you want. I don't recommend that you use that large or that high quality for the shadows because, well, they are shadows. It's not that important. And you can play with the settings right here, like the bias, normal bias, just to see the outcome of what will happen when you, well, do that. Because I always encourage people to do that. The more you practice, the more you try to break things and put them back together, the more you will learn. Moving forward, I'm going to turn off the directional light. So you see we have darkness, and let me go here in the scene, and I'm gonna go where this, whatever is this? Is this a doghouse? I have no idea. It's not important, but I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna click on this orange thing, and this orange thing is actually this bloom 01. You can also go here in the search for the hierarchy and you can type bloom 01, and I'm going to turn it off. The reason why I don't want it here is because, let me just go here and fold the props or the models, is because I am going to right click here and I'm gonna go under lights and I am going to create a point light. Now this is a point light. We're going to put the point light here. So let me just put the point light here. I think you can also see while I'm moving the light how it affects this game object. So if I go here inside of the, and let me go here in the game tab, where is my camera? So select the camera here, and I am going to, while the camera is selected, I am going to go here and Command Shift F, and now we see this with our camera. Now if I select the point light and turn it off and on, you see the effects right here. So you see how it looks. Let me just turn off this particle to see if this is actually affecting why we have here lights. Let me go here in lighting. Do we have skybox material? No, we don't. Then I think that this right here is affecting it. So let me just see. Yeah, this right here is another bloom or whatever. Let me just select it, bloom 4, and I'm going to turn it off. So it's going in the game tab. It's a little bit, I think, darker. It's not important. Let's select the point light. Pay attention. When I turn it on and off, you can see it. You can see clearly here that we have lights, and when I turn it off, we don't have lights. Now, when it comes to the point light, let me just turn it back on. We can control its range by this range value here. It's number 10. If I go here in the scene, that's actually the sphere. You see, if we pump the value up, the sphere will be larger if we put it back down. So if I put it, for example, at 1, you see the sphere is very, well, small. It has a small value, but let me try to turn it on and off. We can barely see what is going on. I can see a little bit here where I'm pointing with the mouse, but we need to put it at least at 5 to be able to see the effect. You see now? We see the effect. But let me just put it back on at 10. And what we can also do with our point light, well, we can change the color. So I can set it to some reddish color, to dark color, to, I don't know, orange color, yellowish color. You see here when I set it at the yellow color, we can see it a little bit more clear. We can also change the intensity, you see? Again, when we change the intensity, it looks insane. It's like everything is going, I don't know, you can simulate a lot of things with this. It looks pretty cool. Indirect multiplier is basically the same thing, how it bounces off of game objects. For the shadows, again, we have soft shadows, we have hard shadows. Same explanation when it comes to the directional light. So same for the soft shadows and hard shadows, and always, always, always go for the soft shadows. And again, you can change here the intensity. Let's say if I set at 5 now, the range, and set the intensity, you see the more you pump it up, but it doesn't have that range. If we set the range 20, it will be larger. You see now, this is the range 20. But if I set the range 1, you see, we only see it here. An example for what you can use this is maybe to have a, I don't know, like a torch, or to highlight some collectible item. So these are some points, and we can put back the range at 10. So these are some ideas for what you can use the point light. Okay, moving forward, what is the next light that we have? First of all, I'm going to turn off the point light, and I'm going to right click here, go under lights, and we have the spotlight. Now, let me take the spotlight, and here it is. So this is my spotlight. Let me take this tool where I can move it up and down, and I'm going to position the spotlight here, so we can see what is going on. And I'm also, maybe a little bit here where it's a little bit darker. Here, yeah, exactly. I'm also going to take the main camera and select it, Command Shift F to reposition it. So this is what we see. I think that you see this little white circle right here I'm pointing with the mouse. This is the spotlight. And in order to prove that to you, I'm going to pump up the intensity, and voila, you see, this is our spotlight. Now, of course, spotlight has also same features as all of our lights. So you can go here in the scene, we have the range. So if I select the range and move it up, you see it's moving it like this. Now you can use the spotlight, let me just move it up. You can use the spotlight to, I don't know, create a game like Hannah Montana. And I know you will be tempted to create Hannah Montana after this. So let me go here, intensity, and voila, you see, you simply have one spot where it shows. Now you can also change the spot angle. As you can see, the wider it is, or the higher the value is, the wider it will be. So here it's actually 30. And again, so you have the intensity, you have the indirect multiplier, you have here also shadow options. So you have the hard shadows, you have the soft shadows, so on and so forth. Basically, same options as with the point and the directional light, except you see here, it's only pointing in a spot. One spot will be filled with lights, only one spot. Now this is cool if you are creating, I don't know, some police game where you're chasing robbers, And you can use this for, I don't know, that light that, you know, in the prison, you know what I mean, you saw too many movies and me along with you. So you know what I mean? That's one of the things that you can use this spotlight, and I'm sure you're creative and you can think of some other cool features. And again, this here is basically the same as with our point and directional light. So we have the range, we have the angle. The wider the angle is, as you can see, the effect. That's why I encourage you to play with these settings. The more you play, the more you will get to know everything what is going on here. And of course you can change the color, so you can change to any color if you want, some purple color. Now this is a cool light. This looks cool. This looks something like, you know, aliens are coming down trying to get you and me and brainwash us, so on and so forth. But this is how you can use a spotlight. And the last thing I want to talk about before we wrap this video up is about baking. Now, let me turn on my spotlight and let's go here. This is where my spotlight is. Now, what I'm going to do with the spotlight is set the range at 5. So set the range at 5 and set the intensity to something crazy like this right here. So let me just take it and maybe position it something like this. Voila, this is how I want the spotlight to look like. Maybe pump the intensity at 20 and select the main camera, Command-Shift-F to reposition it. So this is what we see here. And notice now when I select the point light, we talked about we have this real time, we have baked. Now real time, what is it? When the lights are real time, when our player is moving, it will recalculate his movement, it will show shadows based where he is moving, and that takes a lot of performance, especially for mobile devices. That's why you want to use this baked as well for your lights. You don't want every single one of your lights to be real time. So if I select this one and select it to be baked, this is for the point light, by the way. What we need to do after is go simply here in the lighting tab. If you don't have it, it's under window, and then you will see here rendering, and then you will see here lighting settings. When you do that, so when you select the light that you want it, or which one you want to be baked, then you position it where you want to position it. Simply go in the tab and go here at the bottom. You will see generate lightning. You see here generate lightning. Click on the drop down list. You have this bake reflection probes. So you're going to click on that, and then you're simply going to click here generate lightning. Now this takes a little bit of time. I think that you see here at the bottom left corner, or actually right corner, the blue loading bar, so to say, filling up. This is Unity working on the lightning system. It's baking the lights that we added. Now we only added one light, and you see how much it takes for it to bake. You can imagine if we have, I don't know, 30 or 50 or 100 lights. So it is hard on the processor. It is hard on your computer. The better your computer is, the better this will be. Now I'm gonna stop the video now and come back with when this finishes. And I'm back, and believe it or not, this took about 10 minutes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes to bake for only one light. So this is what I'm talking about, how lights are hard on the computer, on the processor. So what is this bake light, and why do we only have this in our scene? So we don't see anything else, we only see this yellow thing. Well, because we only have this one light, then we click to generate the light. If I select the directional light and turn it on, if I go in the inspector and turn it on, we will have lights. But as I said, we only put the spotlight to be turned on, and look at what is going to happen right now. Before we bake the lights, and same here, so if I go, for example, this is our spotlight. If I turn it off, you will see it, or actually turn it on, you will see it. If I turn it off, you don't see it. And now if I take the point light, which is baked, and if I turn it off, what? Is this some kind of magic? What did you do? No, just a moment, don't panic. I did not do anything. We baked the light, which means we basically put the light there at the spot where it is. We bake it. It's like, I don't know, we took a hammer and a nail, we nailed it at that place. So now even if we turn it off, it's there, it's baked. Practically it's pre-rendered there and does not have to be rendered again for the rest of your game. And this is really important if you have if you're creating a mobile game and you want to put lights inside, you're going to bake them. And this is how you do it. So you select the light that you want to bake, make sure that the mode here is set to baked, and then you go here in the lightning and simply click generate lightning. You will, of course, as you saw a moment ago, wait depending on how many lights you have, how fast your computer is. so on and so forth, but it will take a little bit of time for that to happen. And again, so I can turn on the directional light. We will have lights. I can turn off the point light. It's still there. It's still here. It's baked. And don't be confused like baking, I don't know, some cake or something like that. It's not. It's only lights. And practically this is it. So this is how we can use lights to create mood in our game. Now, I only showed you a couple of examples, but you downloaded this project so you can, you know, experiment with it. You can put lights, you can try to create something cool and post that in the Facebook group. Anyways, fire here. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, share, like, and comment this video, and I will see you guys in another video.